Hello everybody, hope that you are good. New Bitcoin update, and I want to start with the liquidation heat maps in high block capital because in one of the time frames I already can see something currently happening that we've talked before. Okay, so let's start with the 7 days time frame really quickly. So if you notice here, we've hunted all these liquidations here at 26,500 and 27,000. Price spiked up. Now we are retesting this zone, the 27k, that's the mid-range. But if you notice, there is still quite a lot of liquidity to the upside, okay, around 28,500, and of course also to the downside. But you can notice that at least in the short term, in the lower time frame, the liquidity seems to be to the upside still, okay. Now if we go into the 3 months time frame, and this is what I wanted to tell you, now we can see here that the liquidity to the downside is increasing, okay? Check out these two yellow bars at the bottom. Can you see them? They were not there before. I was telling you, I think it was on Friday, my market theory for the short term, and we were around here. I was telling you that it was not a coincidence that we didn't hit these liquidations at 24,200, and it was not a coincidence that we missed it for a couple of hundreds. So what the market making intentions could be here was to consolidate price and then spike price up with a green big candle, so new traders can open long positions, the retail trader can get excited, and then the liquidations to the downside can increase. You can already see that that's currently happening. So then when they reverse price back down and they hit these liquidations finally, then they wanna hit more liquidations that they could have done previously, and you can see that in the chart playing out now. Okay, so that's in the midterm. Be cautious. I know that all these ATF news are exciting. I'm gonna post today a second video later, and it's going to be quite a different format. It's going to be me in a PowerPoint just talking about my opinion of the ETF, explaining what it actually is, what the news with Grayscale actually mean, and what we can expect in the next days and months regarding the ETF news. Okay, so stay tuned for that video. I think that was gonna be quite interesting. Yes, basically, even if everything is looking interesting, be careful because the liquidity in the midterm is still to the downside. All right. Of course, this number here, $60 billion, whatever, take it with a pinch of salt. I already told you that because high block capital doesn't reduce the liquidations amounts because they don't know where the retail trader is closing position. So they can only keep the numbers and amounts the same or increase them. That's why they have also added this new setting here, which scales down the amounts. And here, for example, it tells you $2 million, okay? But we want to play with the maximum liquidity because that's what I'm used to, okay, for all this month. So that's pretty much everything I want to show you in high block capital. Now let's go to the chart. So Bitcoin, to be honest, hasn't moved since yesterday. That was your prediction from yesterday's video, and you can say that it didn't really play it out. We were expecting the drop happened, but then we were expecting a reversal, and that reversal never came, okay? Instead, what they are doing is consolidating price over here. You can see that we tested actually the mid-range, this white dotted line, okay? And now we are consolidating here as the 50 EMA in the 1 hour time frame is creeping up and it's catching up with price. So why is this happening? Well, most likely because in only 1 hour and a half at 12:30 UTC time, we have PCE inflation report, and that's going to be quite important. And tomorrow we also have non-farm payrolls, okay? So maybe the market is just waiting for some news announcements, and that's why we consolidate in the past hours, all right? So this dotted line, if you wonder, it comes from here, okay? This is a range. When there is a previous range, you have here range highs, range lows, and the dotted line is the mid-range. And if you follow that, you can say that the range lows acted as support. You can see that there very clearly. And now the mid-range, it might be acting as support, okay? Or that's why it just happened yesterday, that we were dropping and then we stopped at the mid-range. So let's see what happens today with those PCE inflation report numbers. But it's as simple as this. If the results are good, then there is a chance that we might see, another test maybe of the 1 hour 50 MA or the mid-range, and then that leg up to 27,800 is still happening, okay? That is still a chance. But if today's inflation report data is bad, then you have to be careful, because if we lose these two levels, the 1 hour 50 MA and the mid-range, and which is the resistance, then we have a long way down. All right. Also, if we check the 4 hour time frame, then this could be the last support. Okay, so 26,800. So if you today you have very bad inflation data, and then you come below the mid-range, then you should go towards this zone here. And if you lose that zone, then of course you're gonna retrace the whole pump from the grayscale news. Okay, so be very careful and keep in mind these two levels. Okay, so the mid-range, and then if you lose the mid-range, then you have this zone over there. All right, so that's pretty much everything regarding Bitcoin in the 1 hour and 4 hours time frame. Then in the daily time frame, you can see that our main resistance is also the 50 MA. So maybe we do some more, ranging in this zone here. All right, that's a possibility. That's your new type of short-term range. But again, today's inflation report and tomorrow's non-farm payrolls can catalyst a move either to the upside or to the downside, and then retrace this whole pump. All right. So I always tell you, when we have major news announcements on the way, it's better to stay flat, reduce risk, okay, because it can go either way. So be very careful, because that's only going to happen in 1.5 from here, and probably around 30 minutes or so from when I upload the video, if I'm quick enough. And then if we go to the weekly time frame, the same story that I was telling you yesterday, okay, this candle closes on Sunday, and in my opinion, this candle is going to be very important, because you can see the 50 MA in the weekly time frame. Here it acts as support, and then you have a leg up. Okay, now we closed the previous weekly candle below the weekly 50 MA, and this one, to be honest, is very close from it. It's like $100 or $200 away. So if we close below it again, and then we start to see the candles testing the weekly 50 MA resistance, then that's telling you, okay, we want to have another leg lower. Same as what happened here, but inversely. You see what I mean? And the target is going to be this liquidity pool over here. Basically, that's at 22K. And of course, the 50% of this week around 20,700. Okay? So that's what I see for Bitcoin. Not a clear trade. I'm gonna wait myself until today's inflation report is out before taking any new trades and see what happens. Okay, so I'll probably update you on Twitter in case you wanna follow me there, and I'm gonna take you to Forex Factory. That's one of the websites that I use to see the news, and we're gonna go through it. Okay. And regarding news announcements, this week has been impressively big. We've had loads of news announcements. We also had yesterday the grayscale case against the SEC. Okay, I'm gonna again post a video today about the Bitcoin ETF. It's related to that. So in case you have any questions, maybe that video can help you answer them. And also still on Tuesday, we got the job opening survey, and these results are insane. Okay, that's also why the market pumped. On Wednesday, you also got the preliminary GDP. That was, look at that, also lower. Bad news for the economy, good news for Jerome Powell, I think. And also here, I think this is an automatic, let me check this, automatic data processing, okay, and non-farm unemployment change, also lower, good for Jerome Powell. Labor market starting to cool down, it seems. But still today, you got PCE data, very important. This is about an inflation report. You can find some information here. Change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers, excluding food and energy. All right. And then tomorrow, which I think is going to be the biggest news announcements, is going to be the non-farm employment change. Okay, non-farm payrolls. That's always the first Friday of each month, and this is related to the labor market. So stay tuned with this. And of course, you also have the unemployment rate along this. Okay, so tomorrow is going to be also a very big day. So just I wanted to post this video to keep you updated about what's currently going on with Bitcoin, and a reminder, guys, to be careful with your current open positions, because again, we're going to have lots of news. And then probably on Friday, we're going to hear some more news about the Bitcoin ETF, probably some delays. All right, so that's pretty much everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.